Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Tuesday, July 16, 2024. Well, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a Time for Change call tomorrow night, Wednesday, around a little after 9:15 p.m. Eastern. We're going to talk about just exactly, finitely, what actually occurred with this assassination situation, and what's the real purpose of it, and who orchestrated it. We're going to talk about two sides. Well, actually three involved with this planet, and the finiteness and detail of exactly what is transpiring, without all of the, rumors and hearsay and all that stuff, which is pretty much, as we know, the civilization, the society. We all know that happens anyway with this society, this civilization, that things become much more convoluted and confusing to many. We're all of us in these bodies on this planet are, let's put it this way, we've been reincarnating for many lifetimes, incarnating thousands and thousands and thousands of lifetimes. Now, I know to some that seems very daunting, because, when people say, well, we don't know about our past lives. It would be nice if we did. Others say, I don't really care to know about my past lives. It could be frightening and disruptive and all kinds of things. Well, you will remember all your past lives. That's a definitive. But there are steps that each of us will discover, and then the appropriate timing with each one of us will occur where the past lives block, or whatever you want to call it, electrified interruption, will be over, and you'll be able to tap into every single lifetime with total clarity. But without ego-minded fear, and because we're walking through step by step the process of understanding, comprehending who and what we really are in these bodies. And the illusion of separation, of course, has made it a real challenge for the majority of this civilization. It just has. It's because we're only taught certain things. And because of that, we only walk certain paths. And this is why it's repeated throughout the ages. We walk a certain path in these physical bodies. It's only because we've only been educated on a small percentage of origin. And since there hasn't really been, through ancestral tracing, anybody that really has changed that or shifted gears with that and teaching, like young children, because they know. This is because the adults know, and they've discovered. So then they teach the children. And this isn't a religion, so people might get this confused with religion, but it isn't. It's so far away from religion. This is a spiritual comprehension of our existence. And this is where this civilization will flourish. Instead of being stymied and, actually bootlegged into false prophecies through the existence, which is very confusing. Religions are very confusing to many people. If they, why would you have a separation of so many of us when we really are all one? Why would we be, that's ego mind again. We know that. That's why that's the ego mind's there, that, what we believe, you don't believe, and you should believe what we believe, and that's all ego mind. So you can see the sensitivity and how intricate it is for us to embrace the direction of our spirituality, our existence, our true existence, and to understand what these bodies are for, and to understand what we're doing here, to comprehend all of it, and to comprehend what we're doing here and why we're here, instead of being in this fog all the time and not really knowing, really, truly. And this is why we practice being in the now, living in the now. And yes, it is daunting at times because it's challenging for many, because you focus on being in the now, like on these meditations, these guided meditations. What I do is I provide frequency-directed communication to those who listen to the meditations, and then they review the information I share and the verbal part of the meditation, and then they choose certain areas, because we're on the same journey, okay? But we have different perspectives and different feelings, and so we choose little bits of information here and there, and then we compile them with ourselves. So this is why we have these. The time when I'm talking is to cover areas that we're all familiar with. Some not so much, but others very much so. And it's being able to have the courage to step into it, which is an unknown. And this is about us progressing as a people together, not, someone over here does this, and someone over here does this, and this one's better than this one, and that one's better than this one, and you're not as good as this one. Look where that has gotten us as a civilization. It really hasn't gotten us much anywhere. We've experienced things, wonderfully so, but we all know that a shortened lifespan isn't the way to go. I think we all agree with that. A shortened lifespan is not the way to go, where we lose the quality of our lives, we lose our independence, our bodies get to the point where they just won't cooperate. It's just not a way to go. And then you begin to realize that it isn't our natural state of being. And movies have depicted that that's natural, and other, and in science fiction that's natural. Aging is not natural. Well then, someone would say, well, how? Then there'd be overpopulation, right? No. Never been an issue with civilizations that are immortal. So what do you mean overpopulation? There wouldn't be overpopulation, because some decide to just leave. And eventually that's how we will be. We will have discovered who and what we are. We're on that path now. It's just going to keep getting more and more. And we will understand that we are a God in pure consciousness within the body, that there is no God outside of us, because we are all God. Okay? There's not an end, as it's been depicted to us through generations, that there is a God up there, right? Look up. It's always you have to look up. It's always a God. There's a God there. Vengeful God will destroy and punish you if you don't follow His directions. Now we know that was all engineered, orchestrated. To do what? To control the civilization of the planet. To put it in a box. And now what's happening is that many are starting to discover on their own that that isn't our natural state of being. We are inherently a benevolent civilization. I know that might sound strange to some people. Well, then we have shootings, and we have, all this stuff that goes on, and burglaries, and, I used to feel safe in my neighborhood, I don't now, that type of thing. But when you look at the entire population of the planet, which unbeknownst to many on this planet is at 8.5 billion, not 7 billion or 6. You begin to realize that most of us is benevolent, a small fraction isn't benevolent. And what that means is when people are angry and ticked off, and they do stupid things, and violence, and hurt others, you kind of look at that as love under pressure. And when someone doesn't understand who and what they are, they don't understand themselves, and they haven't accepted who and what they are, and they don't love themselves, that's what happens, period. Okay. Anger, fear, frustration, aggressiveness, doing harm to others is ego mind. This is why you understand how important it is, why we talk about it so much, is that it is so important for us to master the ego mind. And it isn't a difficult thing. It is, from one perspective, that we're habitualized with the ego mind. We all live our lives and we do certain things, and most of the time we don't even identify the fact that, wait a minute, this is ego mind. But by going within and focus, because you want to go within, and focusing on the now, you begin to get a little sip here and there of peace with yourself. It's not, and we all know that it doesn't happen within a couple of weeks. We all know that. But you begin to get little signs for yourself that it's starting to grow. And your habit is shifting to the heart mind and not the head mind, the ego mind. And this is huge for the civilization. Have other civilizations experienced this? Absolutely. We're not the only one. But we are the current, let's put it this way, the attention and this quadrant of the galaxy. And so much so with this universe. And so this is why the collective consciousness has concentrated here, on this planet. So that benevolence will be front and center. And benevolence, see, a lot of people look at benevolence as being weak, right? Easy targets. And actually it's the opposite. The reason that we become benevolent is because of our confidence, faith, and trust within ourselves and the gods that we are. We have no fear. Okay? The fear is not there. We have no ego mind. And we have no interest in those low frequencies of violence and agitation. It just doesn't register with us. And when we want things, we know that everything is safe and secure. We know that, and this is how I'm giving you a picture of our progression and eventuality, our existence with physical material life, which means that we would not experience harm, ever, that anything that were to test us as a civilization, like to try to invade or infiltrate or threaten, they could be vanished within a blink. Okay? And for the ego mind to understand this, it's not going to understand it at all. But this is where we are going. This is a precursor of choosing the now and no longer choosing yesterday and tomorrow. It is our choice, each one of us. We either make that choice or we say, well, I'm not ready to make that choice. And that's fine too. But eventually, every one of us will make that choice. And it'll be heart-mind. ego mind will be mastered. Thoughts will be mastered. You know what it means to master your thoughts? That's tremendously powerful. You can direct any of your thoughts at that point and manifest anything you desire with those thoughts. You're directing, okay? You're the producer, the director, the choreographer, you're all of it with your life. And this is an expansion of what we already have. See, we already have all this. It's just that I think we lost our key to the door. See, we've been looking for that key for a long time. And some of us are starting to find the key. And we're ready to put the key into the door, the lock, and unlock it. And walk right through the door. What's the door? The door is the ego mind. It is our preconceived programming. All the programming that we've received, that we inherit with these bodies, right? It is a total remapping and reprogramming that is going on. We choose to do it. So, in other words, there's nothing outside of us that's doing it to us. It's us in the universe doing it for us. Not to us, for us. So we begin to understand, every one of us, this isn't, and see, that's why I always talk about the fact that this is heart mind, not ego mind. It's a big difference. Heart-mindedness, we have no reason or motivation to brag, to talk ourselves up, to do any of that. It's not there. We don't have any motivation for that. What we seek, every one of us seek, is the God within us, the pure consciousness, the collective. Every one of us have a voice. Someone say, well, you're going to lose your independence. No, we are one. But like I say with a flock of birds, you see the birds? You've seen them. They all move in unison. Right? They're all communicating. They know that they're one. You see, we haven't gotten, and I know that we haven't gotten to that point yet. We haven't. As the gods in these bodies, as a people and a civilization. And yes, throughout the ages, we've had all kinds of gurus and, martyrdom with some of these gurus where people begin to worship them, and the rest is pretty much from there. This world has a natural order and perfection within it. I believe we all sense that, those of us that come to this meditation and others out there. This is a divinely orchestrated universe. And it doesn't matter if it's a holographic generated universe. It's a universe that we're experiencing. It's easy to see it, feel, and experience when we simply focus our attention in its direction. And as we know, what we put our energy on grows stronger. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be upheaval, fear, control, destruction, all of that. And if we put our attention on it, what do you think happens? It gets stronger. Isn't it funny? It is. You got to kind of laugh at things, since our lives here are temporary right now. So you kind of look at this as it's kind of like a hilarious in certain ways. That even we're the power. We look and we see and we perceive. outside of ourselves, right? We all do it. But then, when we look inside of ourselves, and we begin to understand things, is that you and that body, you should be able to heal that body whenever it needs to be healed. You should be immortal as long as you choose to be in that body. Yet all of those things are contained within every one of us. All of that power is contained within every one of us. But yet, because we have not discovered certain things yet for ourselves, we don't realize that when we're focused on something, we put our attention on something, right? Scary, murky, boogeyman-ish, the control of the planet and control of the people and annihilation and explosion, all that stuff, right? Freaky, scary to a lot of people. But we're focused, our attention's on that. Why is that? It's because our confidence, trust, and faith in ourselves isn't strong at all. It isn't. So what that means is that the ego mind's in full charge and we doubt ourselves. Okay, we're not sure of ourselves. Yes, everybody kind of has a little bit more here, but all in all, we're not sure of ourselves. So we doubt ourselves. In anything, that's when we want to manifest something for ourselves. A little teeny droplet of doubt can stop it. So when we look at the landscape, so to speak, everything happening around us, the boob tube, the internet, all of this stuff, and reading and listening and getting all these things and compiling, and you go, man, we're in deep trouble. So we focus on that. That's our attention. We give it power. We give it more power. And we give it more power and more power. Rather than saying, knowing that, okay, so I'm focusing on this. And then you become aware that you're focusing on it. And remember, you're kind, gentle, and humble with yourself and generous at all times. So you say to yourself, why would I focus on that? Why would I put my attentive power to that, to give it more power? This is something I don't care to interact with. This is something that I don't care to have in my life. Well, I'm aware of it. It's not like we're not aware of it. But you catch it, see, through your progression in your spiritual existence. You begin to say, I'm focusing over here. I know what that is. I have focused on that for a long time. It isn't my first rodeo. I know what that is. And I know where it can lead because I've experienced it. So therefore, I'm going to focus on what? What you want in your life. How you want your life to be. Your attention is focused on that. What's the difference there? You will manifest things in the positive rather than the spooky, scary, negative. And in one way it's negative, another way it's not, because it has to be there for us to discover this. If it wasn't there, how would we discover it? But it's acknowledging that our attention is dangerous. It's dangerous to us mostly, because look at how many of us right in this now are focused on what? Okay, what do you think they're focused on? Well, I think we all know. And it's habit. Generation after generation, it's habit. When you don't know yourself, you're very dangerous. Period. Because you don't know how powerful you are. And when you don't know how powerful you are, and you don't know by focusing your attention on something, what that's going to do with that something. This is all about us learning about who and what we are. and just how omnipotently powerful the gods that we are in these bodies is. And some people say, oh, that's science fiction, that's a joke. No, most of the things in science fiction are true. But it's not a joke. This is the real deal. So you look at the ingredient of benevolence, which most of us on this planet, like I said, the majority percentage of the people in this civilization, in this species, is benevolent. Not aggressive, destructive, benevolent. So it's those that are completely confused about who and what they are, okay, who cause this through programming of family. How it works. Family programs. Family is the programming. It's the heart center of programming of children who then become adults. Boom. That's it. That's what it is. It'll probably take us a generation, and I'm being real flexible with that, a generation for us to have a new generation of omnipotently powerful, aware beings, okay, where they have been taught from the beginning, programmed from the beginning, of who and what they are. Because those that are programming them discovered about who and what they are. Crucial. Why do you think that we do these meditations year after year after year after year, day after day after day after day? So that we can move into a comprehension of that we know who and what we are in these bodies through heart-mindedness. Imperative. Because all of us on this meditation, anybody that listens to these meditations, which is global, what you realize is that you'll be able to, you'll be young again. You'll have that choice. You'll be young again. We can procreate at high velocity. And not only that, teaching others, not religion at all, but sharing information with others about who and what they are. And what would that be? That would be with the younglings, the young ones. Okay. Before they are corrupted. Because that influence of corruption, more and more of us are not we're not putting our attention on that. It's like, if you look at the children of the planet, many people don't care to even acknowledge that, which is a shame. But if you look at the children, all of the debauchery and horrible things that have befallen the children of this planet for a long time, thousands of years. And then you begin to focus in a different direction. For all the children of this planet who have suffered, who are suffering right in this very moment, who have been eaten, physically abused, mutilated, across the board. Right in this right now, we focus on what? Their well-being, their happiness, their bliss, their joy. Because they are directly connected with the gods within these bodies that we're in, and we are directly connected with them, the gods that they are in those bodies. So we see, this is a switch. We focus our power, which is omnipotent, as the gods that we are. We focus our power while we're in these bodies to heal, to protect, to flourish, increasing the vibrational frequency exponentially on the planet. So in the quiet time of this meditation, focus your power on all the children of the planet. All right? Understand that they never die. The body, yes. The God, no. Also understand that because of how things have transpired on this planet, and because too many of us have focused on those low frequencies, which have given them more power, made them last much longer, and this isn't a negative, it's a discovery for us, so that more and more of us begin to realize that I'm going to focus my attention through my heart-mind in this moment, in this meditation of listening to my breath rise and fall, of relaxing deeply into my body, being in a fixed state as a statue, comfortable fixed state as a statue. I'm going to focus my power on the healing of all children of this planet, of the protection of all children of this planet from being defiled, manipulated, misguided, misdirected, misprogrammed, all of it. Because the only power that has moved or made things happen, organized, structured, allowed things to happen, is the power of the gods that we are in these bodies. That's the only thing that has the power to do what has occurred on this planet for tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of years. Not a government. Okay? None of that. It's us. All of us gods in these bodies. Because what is, you know, when those of us who are asleep, we don't know any of this. They were totally unaware, totally unconscious about it. So what do? We focus our attention on what? What we see. Right? Without knowing how powerful we are and how dangerous that focus is. You see? And what we're doing in these meditations is building up the confidence, the trust, and the faith in ourselves. So it's at 100% all the time. Now this is a big difference compared to ego, mind, 100% confidence, 100% trust, and 100% faith. Totally different. This is heart-minded, 100% trust, 100% confidence, 100% faith in ourselves, with ourselves, at all times in this universe. Huge, huge. And a state of gratitude that's 24/7. This is what we're learning. This is what we choose to learn. This is what our natural state of being is. This is why some of us that start off on this feels very uncomfortable, because we're so used. Analogy, right? You're walking along a street, quiet town. You look to your left. You see an older guy sitting on his porch in a rocker, just kind of hanging out, looking around. You see this old dog laying there by him, and the dog kind of making some kind of whimpering noises, kind of catches your attention. You go, what's going on there? So you ask the older gentleman there, you go, excuse me, looks like your dog's in some kind of pain there. He goes, no. He happened to lay on a nail, and the nail's really bothering him. But he's so used to laying on the nail that he doesn't have the sense to get off of it and know that that would disappear. That's the majority of people on this planet. So you can see why we have the unstableness in these lifetimes on this planet. Because without us knowing about it, we focus our power in the wrong direction. And we don't know it. Because we don't have faith, confidence, and trust in ourselves to the extent of discovering that I'm not going to put my power in that direction. No way, Jose. I've experienced many lifetimes, and I've been there, and I know what that power can do. So I'm focusing on the things that I want. I want the children of this planet to be at peace. I want them to have wonderful lives, healthy lives, unobstructed lives. I want them to learn about the gods that they are in the bodies and through the heart-mind, and start to focus on what we want, and our power is directed to what we want. And it's not always about us from that standpoint, because we've discovered who and what we are. It's about all of us. Period. So this is about all the children, because those bodies, those young bodies, we all know this. It's what they're programmed about. And then after a period of time, they're going to be directing, leading, structuring, building. And however they come to be is due to us. Hook, line, sinker. Period. No debate. And this is one of the main reasons why we keep repeating things generation after generation after generation. And why it seems like, for some of us, that we're on some kind of a treadmill. And we're not going anywhere, but we see this big cinemascopic, picture in front of us and around everywhere as life. And we're on this treadmill, and it looks like we're moving, because we're running by trees, and we're moving up the road and wherever we're at. But then we feel that we really aren't. So in the quiet time of this meditation, your choice. You don't have to, right? Focus the power of the God that you are in that body on healing the children, protecting the children at all times with deep, pure, eternal love. All times. No matter where they're at, you can feel where they're all at on this planet. Wherever the young ones are, you can feel it through the God and the heart-mindedness that you are. It's not that's a given. And so you direct that power, and you flood and saturate and permeate all of them, no matter what's happening to them right now. You focus from your heart to their heart, and then expand it from there. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close this out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. Then easy and slow breath out through the mouth. Remain still. Focused on your breath rising and falling. Really love the people close to you. We all know, we just never know for sure how much time they have left. You can never be 100% certain that your beloved will be with you tomorrow, or vice versa. So take the time today to tell them just how much you care. Don't hide your light anymore. Do not play small and make up stories why it's not necessary right now to reveal your true heart overflowing with love. When you hold back love, you're lost in some egoic game of control. Real love doesn't play games. Real love doesn't hide, manipulate, or try to control anything at all. Real love doesn't try to teach the other any lesson. Your job is to learn how to let go, give the gentle, calming kindness that exists in your heart today, not tomorrow or next week. Because we can't just never know for sure if tomorrow will ever come. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, and purest of the purest purest. Eternal gratitude at all times. No matter what's happening outside of you or within you, open your heart. Let the magic flow in. We'll return here Wednesday, July 17, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call. And a little after 9:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our Time for Change call.